Oh, never mind. Apologies for the late start here. Making sure brackets all Gouda. Got that last team in there. Decay. That'd be Snow Hill Bow's team. Wow. Wowee. Alright. Let's get into this, shall we? Get some good old action going on here. Zorch giving me the good old go ahead, waiting for Ladybug. There she is. Let's go. In 5, going off into some Dorado action. Boom. Pretty excited to see the return of Munition. I don't think they've played since the, maybe like the 5th Diamond and Below, maybe the 6th. I have their records. I was going through some of the past tournaments to figure out some seeding. Wet Lemon still by far in the lead spot here. They lost last month's though. But 200MG, who were last month's victors, actually are not playing today. So, Wet Lemons will go back into the #1 seed spot. And behind them, Frostwolves, who have been in the past 4, I want to say, or 3, at least 3 tournaments, sitting at a record of 4-3. Munition here, sitting at a good old 3-5 record. And it goes down the list. Pixel Hype are 1-4. Goodbye 1-1. Dry Limes Feels Bad 0-1. I want to say, going through all the records. And Pugstars, so far brand new team, although some familiar faces within the community on that team. But they get placed last, along with Decay, who was the 8th team to join. Kind of randomize those seeds for the last 2 spots if they don't have a record. But regardless, in we go. No more mercy. Feels good, man. Already, we're seeing some Orisa hog action on the side of Munition. In blue, sitting up top, Pullman, hook him out. Then, of course, you got Junkrat, who's just going to trap him and blast through all that pill damage. See how long Tiny Spider's shield lasts here, as it is already quite far down. He's going to have to let that build up. A Ladybug hopefully can get some nice charge off of this, but Switch missing his initial hook, and then there's a separate pull as a Tiny Spider has to charge away as the healing isn't just strong enough at the moment. Zen and Orisa, not Orisa, Zen, Kemji right now, not pulling out a ton of healing, but perhaps the pills, and of course Zorch on Soldier doing a lot of work as well. So right now, a good push to deny, building up that ultimate percentage. We're already seeing Dry Limes change over and adapt, completely abandoning Reinhardt, going to Laney on D.Va and a Tiny Spider on Winston. So they're going to be changing things over and get through those shields, and Tiny Spider gets pulled, and he's just going to jump right into the backlines anyway to see what he can do. And a tire already from the French guy who grabs just Genji at the moment. Ladybug demeched, pulled back to ground level, seems like for now. Munition grab the defense again right here. Kemchi can't quite get away. Probably didn't have the fade up at the moment. So there you go. Kemchi, the only one with an ultimate on the side of Dry Limes here, but we'll see if they can push that Coalescence through his shield and maybe do a lot of damage and healing. But you also have a Nano Boost, Coalescence, and Tac Visor on the side of Munition to deter all of that, and they're going to go up high. See if they can switch things up here. Definitely not one to bash their heads into a brick wall here as they are trying to adapt and overcome, but out comes the Dragon Blade from Wob, and Darth Von in the meantime is going to pick up 2 with a Pulse Bomb. Then for good measure, Illusion's going to pull out Transcendence All. He didn't quite need it just yet. That fight was purely won, but look at that. Still 5 ultimates. I guess everyone just happened to die at the wrong time there. So they're going to have to give up this first point, and while Wob does go a little too far there, he'll fall early. But now they have to push once that payload gets moving after that long door opening up. See how what their progression will be like. But, well, it doesn't help if Illusion gets a few orb headshots on the French guy. They're just going to try and dive in. They're going to dethrone them off of the high ground. So they're going to try and engage right on the ground level with a self-destruct right in the center. Going to grab Frost, who is just caught on the pillar, but Zorch coming back with some revenge on the nano attack visor. He'll grab 2 with that, and it's kind of a standoffish fight at the moment. 2v2, oh, 3v2 now, as both teams are kind of trickling back in, but Dry Limes deciding it might be best to back off for the moment. Alright. But the trap up top, a tiny spider, as I was looking at it, walks into it with very little health left, and he's going to throw a Reptire just to hit Ladybug, get her real low on her mech, but she'll get healed up for the meantime. So close to being demeched. But all is well. Zorch dealing with Darthon, who's just been quite clutch with those pulse bombs, but he's actually going to be switching over to Soldier here. And right now, seems like ultimate status favoring the attackers here. Dry Lime. They got the tools. How are they going to use them and when? Hopefully they don't go overkill here, but they only got a Coalescence to get rid of here. Mr. Canada, see what he can do with the supercharger going right into the center. No shield guarding it, but Transcendence is just going to be sitting right on top of that, and actually Wobb's Dragon Blade is just completely denied by Big Rig's Coalescence. Have vampiric-like qualities, taking the damage and healing yourself up. Just too good. Looks like Wob already going off Genji and over to Junkrat here. So going for massive damage. Switch with the Diva Bomb. She's maybe looking to, or he or she may be looking to use it. But the French guy once again falling down early here. Not expecting Wob with the pills to come out, but there's self-destruct right in the center. Tiny Spider throwing down that shield at the last second to keep himself safe. And there's the Coalescence from Kemchi. Going straight through, and Mr. Canada cannot take the pain and the heat, and Switch is being bullied into a corner, but attack visor from Zorchi has to retreat, basically only getting 1. He could have got a lot more, but the self-destruct zones him out, and the payload is continuing to move here. Dry Limes, battles of attrition here, forcing their way through. Under 5 meters to see Mr. Canada, the lone defender at the moment. Who knows he'll last long being slept and being sucked dry of Kemchi. But they're going to grab this one with 50 seconds left, and with 2 minutes pushing into last here, just over. That's not a ton of time, as defenders have a major advantage with their spawns being so close. Get over here and heal up. I think we're doing all right so far. And a tire coming out from Wob is going way into the back lines. Frost! Ooh, so close to getting that destroyed, but there comes another tire from the French guy as in retaliation of his own. He's waiting for the opportune moment, just dashing in and out. He's got not much time left there, going for a tiny spider who's on hog now. Zorch will finish him off as Ladybug tries to escape with her mech, along with Kemchi, who fades out. For the time being, Dry Limes have to regroup again. But so far we have 2 Junkrats up top, just holding on to those tiny hallways, controlling those areas. But now Wob is being forced out, but not before at least demeching Switch, which is actually very good. If they can push, well, maybe not with Ladybug down. If they could have pushed there, that would have been a great time too. Especially they don't have to worry about things being eaten up like Darthon's attack visor into the defensive matrix of Switch. Solo casting makes me feel bad for the guy. Ah, don't worry about it. I've done it before. I started off doing everything by myself, but, you know, sometimes I take the punches. We may have another caster later on, as many people are busy. As such is life. C'est la vie. But Dry Limes picking up with 30 seconds left, going on top. Darthon going to be attack visor, but a nice anti-heal grenade, but it's not just enough at the moment. Self-destruct going right in the center. Mr. Canada barely being out of there. With the slow movement speed of her left shift ability. But Zorch coming back with his own attack visor, but Ladybug is just eating it up at the moment. And right now, overtime with 10 seconds left is definitely going to be ticking away unless a massive just changing of tides here for either side. But even with the anti-heal on the Tiny Spider, it's great because Coalescence can't reach that heals, obviously, but Wob with a close proximity tire, Rip Tire on the big rig, getting Orisa out is huge at this moment as they are pushing through. Ladybug going straight for Switch's Diva with the whole hog here, but oh, look at that. Doofus, no! Connor going for the stall, get to the point as quick as possible. And a nice biotic grenade from Frost once again, denying all that healing, but once again, it's almost snowballing here at the moment as they are just on that cart as the tanks and other DPS fall of Munition. They can keep it going, but for how long can the trickle go? With a sleep into hook on the French guy who just now falls. Self-destruct to zone once again, and they're going to push with 1 meter left. Did I hear someone say 2 CP lol? No? Okay. Look at that. Zorch already coming in to a pulse bomb who takes out Wob with the Riptire who just didn't even get it off, but it doesn't matter. Darthon coming in with the cleanup on attack visor here. And there you go. Dry Limes as I knock stuff off my PC tower. Good job me. Take out the first round. All 3 captures, but no time remaining. Feels good. Thank you all for joining once again. I'm glad everyone's watching tonight, even though, of course, well, there may be some Overwatch League going on, but we don't know that. Go Philly Fusion, just saying. But let's see how Dry Limes do on defense now. They were very willing to change up their compositions here on attack because they were able to do so quickly as obviously attacker spawn is right there before the archway as they push the payload through. But now, obviously, if they fall and they want to change up their tactics, they got a long walk back to point. And of course, you're obviously, I'm saying of course a lot, and of course, you're giving up all that ultimate percentage and build up that you have to restart on. We'll see how it goes. Well, I'm putting a cheeky little trap up on top of that red building right outside the spawn. See if anyone mobile enough will take it. Maybe Switch, maybe Mr. Canada, maybe the French guy. Who knows? But Darthon changing it over to McCree, as we saw him on Soldier and Tracer last time. But now the tide's changing, potentially, as Zorch looking for maybe some good old flanking rounds, or just will stick with the pack as Tracer. But now you got to deal with an annoying Orisa shield up top from a Tiny Spider, constantly laying that down. 900 health. See how they can break his Zorch already up top, and Mr. Canada thinks about it, but doesn't quite make the commitment here. And looks like they're taking quite a long time to get to the payload here, as Munition will take that chance and go right up as the French guy gets trapped, reflects. But right now, well, now they're starting to contest the payload a bit, but they're kind of out of position as the payload makes it all the way through. That is huge for them to lose all that positioning in ground, as Munition have, well, may not have the numbers, but Frost is trying their best. Mercy in 2018, lol, what is this? They're kind of making their way in. Ladybug trying to reverse things here with a hook and headshot into Zorch, but he will pay with his life here. But look out for the high noon from way back. Darthon getting pushed and bullied. Gets to D-Mech on Mr. Canada, though. But out comes the French guy with a Dragon Blade. Can't, oh, finally gets Kemchi after missing one of his dashes, waiting for those cooldowns to go there. The Wob, the last one there, and look at that. A nice engage to take the missteps of Dry Limes against them. as Dry Limes did not go down and contest that payload, probably when they should have, but well, they're coming back with a bit of vengeance as Ladybug is just creating space with the whole hog. Let's see if that will be worth it. Who knows? Supercharger from a tiny spider to lead things off even after a lot of people, 2 people have died in particular here, and Zorch is just gonna pop full, so I'm right on there to get that down and out right away. Right now you got Illusion, who's just barely healing up, has the nano boost but will not be able to escape at all, as a lot of mobile players here. The Dive Comp is back, chasing her down, or him. I reference the genders as the heroes, not the players. Easier for me, but self-destruct. Mr. Canada to zone once again, but Tiny Spider already coming over to Reinhardt, but it would immediately fall here, even with the coalescence from Kemchi. Interesting, but even with all of that coalescence being coming in, the payload is going to continue to move in, and they got 3 more minutes on the time bank as Dry Limes did on their attack here, and they are not stopping at all. Massive momentum here, as they still have 4 ultimates and coming into a lot more, as well as the French guy coming in the back, a bunch of slices onto Kemchi, finally grabbing him down, and a Tiny Spider will get a bit of revenge here on the French guy with a nice charge. Maybe that'll be enough for them to equalize for the moment, as the payload's gonna be rounding that corner, coming in the last with 4:45 left. This is an incredible push so far. The defense has just not been in place at all. I'm gonna take a breath real quick. Let you watch Wob slice and dice through, get Frost and the other support as well. Big Rig going down. With Transcendence, that would be the time to use it, but they have the time to wait. Come in with a nice little attack plan. Wob, a bit deep in my boy. And that's gonna be, that's gonna be calling the banners here for Munition, as they are already pegging people down. 3 down, and they're gonna come in with a Valkyrie from Frost and Earth Shatter from Tiny Spider. Not gonna do much with a self-destruct to add everything into it. And this is not great. They have Transcendence and Primal Rage. Switch can just be up front right now and exactly use Primal Rage, as I'm saying, like I'm coaching him. Thank you, my boy. Who knew? Just smart gameplay, but he gets slept. But for the time being, oh, a self-destruct gets barely booped out of the way, so it creates a tiny little bit of space. Ooh, Big Ring coming out with a Transcendence finally. But right now, everyone's spread apart on Munition. They were actually not near the payload for some time, as looks like Dry Limes are going to take advantage of that. Interesting positioning choice, as 2.14 meters, and they're able to deny this attack after another minute of fighting.
Coalescence is charging.
My ultimate is charging.
Oof.
My ultimate ability is charging.
What's the hold up?
My ultimate is charging.
They sunk a lot into that fight, Dry Limes. And now you have French guy's Dragon Blade and a Pulse Bomb who's going to be laying waste here, potentially. You just need to wait for the attack as Mr. Canada making his way into position. Switch going in the back lines along with the French guy coming in. 1-2 slice coming down for Illusion. Wob. Who else can he get? Anyone else? He's going to have to stow that blade for the time being. But the kills are coming in. Blue Munition make a basically team kill there, I would say. Wob dying early, but not quite getting a Dragon Blade out, and they're gonna grab it. 3:19 on the clock, because that extra minute gets added on for Dry Limes to push. Great job overall.
2-3. Switching sides.
Well, both teams go the distance. One just a bit faster than the other. Let's see what they can do with a minute to get through, or to get as far as they can, rather. We saw on their first push a few tries to get through that initial archway,
Attackers
but it was that changeover to a dive composition of dry limes that they were able to eventually break the hold.
is my will.
Looks like they're just going to go straight with a, I mean, everything is, I guess you could call anything a, like, pseudo dive or whatever type of comp. Half this, half that. But you got high mobility with, of course, Tiny Spider soaking up a lot of Fat Man damage as the Hog with the self-heal. But Mr. Canada back on the Orisa, trying to deny some space and damage with that shield. Wob almost getting pulled into that. Let's see what can happen here. Actually, Tiny Spider going over to Winston at the last second, jibaited. And he's going to go right down in that hallway. And a DMAC on the Ladybug in the back. They'll have to go... They're going to have to retreat at this moment. I guess they'll push as far as they can until it gets contested. But with the hook onto Ladybug, who's still out of max, Baby Diva finally falls. Okay, this is where they should have dropped the last time. But right in the center, 20 seconds left. One last regroup. And they have, well, they can trickle in here at best during overtime. Let's see if they can get through this, but Zorch already up to 80% on his tack visor. Impressive, my dude. Let's see if he can keep himself alive, but Switch coming close to being demeched here, and Wob going down as the first one. And there comes the tack visor. He's just going to push his way through. Ladybug trying the best to defy a lot of that damage, but ooh, oh man, the quick wick of overtime just ticks right away as they barely leave that payload for not but a second. So that is going to be a very tough hold for Dry Limes here. I want to see if I got any Philly hate. I love you, Caster Man. Oh, thanks. Paraphus, I love you too. Yeah, message. Yeah, if you guys are interested in casting or streaming the games, give me a message on Discord. You can find me on the Moonmoon
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Discord, Mooncord. Just search up Mr. Dongles on the member list, and that's me. I think I'm the only one. I've met one other Dongles ever in this game, and we immediately became friends. We played one game of Quick Play together, never played again. But he's on my friends list, okay?
Easy mode.
5, 4,
I also have like a 3-minute delay on chat, so
1.
I'm just looking through stuff while I got time to breathe.
Escort the payload.
In we come. Ooh, a sneaky route. Look at him. Look at him. Just crouching in, looking for it. But you can hear the footsteps now as they're marching in, getting pulled together. They're actually going to go high ground here, looking for the kills rather than the payload push. And they're kind of getting in late, but Mr. Canada is actually frozen as Wob coming in with a May pick. Super stalled tactics, and Switch already going down early. Mr. Canada will get DMAX, so that will have to be a temporary retreat, as the payload will now finally make its move. Not a bad choice to go a bit of a sneaky route there in the beginnings, or the beginning stage there. But didn't pay off, so they're back to it, and looks like the French guy going over some Pharah action doesn't last long as Wob hits him right out of the sky. Frost barely getting the resurrection out here. He's got to wait another 30 seconds for that to come back. New Mercy feels good, man. With the shield coming right in early, and actually Illusion with the Mercy as well, but will fall at 70% of Valkyrie. So self-destruct to get Frost, the perfect man to get right in mid-air too. And out comes the Blizzard to seal the deal, hopefully, as Mr. Canada gets booped out, but not before getting killed by Ladybug. In the meantime, DMAC'd. That could be huge as things go, but in the backlines, you guys gotta look out. Turn around, my dudes, as Munition are just making great work The backline's in a tire from way, way in the back. See if you can grab anyone, but the French guy sees it, snipes it, and you are gone, my sir. Illusion with the last second contest. I think that will be it here as Munition take the first map in our best of 3.
Play of the game.
And lol, I see that Philly tag. Ooh, yeah.
Get into position.
Oof, 67 elims, 82% call participation. Clap Zorch. Good job, my man. Almost the 10. Shame. All right, let's check the next map-a-rooney here. Ooh, going to some control. Fun. Super fun. So far, a good showing from either team. Dry Limes with a bit of awkward positioning sometimes, but overall, some good performances from the DPS and especially tank players. Mr. Canada sticking with the Orisa. Supercharger wall hasn't been super effective. Definitely the shields are a big help. And we're seeing many of these players as well, not afraid to switch off of what their main could be or what they really want to specialize in. They choose what's right for the moment. That's at least a 200 IQ thought, right? Something like that. Ooh, Ilios. There we go, Munition given the ready. Dry Limes taking a moment to collect themselves, perhaps. There they are. Starting in 5, going to Ilios for our second map of the evening. Only if I could speak. And back to the pit we go. Let's see how many environmental kills we can get on Ilios. Ooh, coming into ruins first here. Not a ton you could get. Obviously, you have the mega health pack off to the side in the center. That's always a great place to just tip people over the edge into the ocean and cliffs below. But not many people go there. And we'll see, most likely, yep, as I'm looking and confirming it myself. Lucios are abound for both sides. And Wob is choosing on the Widow, as we've seen many. This is a very, I don't know, a lot of people favor this map for Widow play. A lot of places to hide and get huge sightlines. So far back into, not quite the enemy spawn, but enough to make a difference many times over. So it'll be up to Switch and the French guy, maybe Mr. Canada too, to grab Wob, who is now on Genji, debating me once again. Thank you for making me look dumb. But they both speed in, taking slightly different routes as Switch going in early. Mr. Canada follow up, and the French guy coming over the edge, coming dashing back in. The big rig gets charged already by a tiny spider. First blood. And it looks like the point will unlock. Switch gets healed back up, and Ladybug on the Zarya now will have to fall. All that charge reset. You already have Wob, dude. Chill. 85% and climbing up to a Dragon Blade, and they haven't even captured the point yet, as they're just stalling at this moment. The Dry Lime's now in blue. Gonna have to take a quick breather here. Although unfortunately, Wob does fall. But in the meantime, he'll get that Dragon Blade in the next engagement for show. Let's see if they can bring it back. And Zorch, oh. But it's a 1-for-1 here as they come in. And Wob is trying his dangest. I ain't no swearing in my Christian server. Wob coming with a 3-piece. Going deep back in enemy lines, grabbing both supports and the French guy as well. Genji and Gengu action, that's what I like to see. But Primal Rage from Switch just to keep things ticking up, as you want to get as much percentage as you can before leaving this point. And Wob has just been dashing his way to victory almost. And he's just, oh my goodness. He's just timing everything so well so far, but once again, Frost coming in with a lot of right clicking. But Big Rig does get a nice little kill. Boop kill onto Illusion from a fellow Lucio player, as they successfully hold Munition, climbing up to 60% and beyond. Both teams named musicians. Oh, but in the center of just a huge cacophony of just a lot of things. There's no point in me trying to name things off, as really it seems to be Dry Limes coming in as the victors for the time being. Switch is gonna pound his chest in fury as he ekes out a couple more percentage points. Not a lot invested on the sides of Dry Limes here. Dragon Blade, well, I guess, yeah, Dragon Blade, Earthshatter, and the Zarya one, because I can't think. A lot of big ultimates, but Mr. Canada coming in for a Flame Strike, gets reflected, but a nice 180 charge into the tiny spider. Now that will call Coalescence and a lot of other things. The rest of the back pocket ultimates for Dry Limes to be thrown out, but not too much effect, as Tac Visor just got eaten up. Sound Barrier, deflected some damage, and Coalescence healed up, but not getting any kills as they're coming in through. But Wob is back on the case. Nice little headshot before the dash in, but he's coming close to his Dragon Blade. He's getting healed up quickly, and he's going to use it right away, going for Frost, who fades out for the time being. He will find Frost again. Hell-bent on getting those supports. And Dry Limes successfully defend, coming across that 50% halfway point. They got that Earthshatter again. And Ladybug will be coming up on Graviton Surge. That's the name of it, if anyone's wondering. Let's see what energy she's at right now. 75 ain't bad, and she's still got her bubble to place on someone else. Coming into a tiny spider who now, 100 energy. Let's see, who can she grab with the grab? If she can get things. Chasing Switch away into the air. Darthon picks it off as he goes skeet shooting, and Illusion getting knocked down by Mr. Canada, but out comes a lot of support ultimates, and there's the grab, but not much follow-up. Wob, you're dashing into a giant laser beam, dude. Not gonna grab much, and there you go. French guy, they flip the point, but in the meantime, they're gonna secure this. And it looks like it's just a tiny spider. He's gonna have a tough time. He's gonna have to charge on point, but he's not gonna make it. There you go. Munition, after a huge number of fights there, 90% to 100. They're definitely not going to take this map easily if they do at all. Dry Lime's looking to put up a fight. I haven't lost my voice yet, so that's good. Oh, excuse me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Not a lot of major changes for either team. Lanebug switching over to some Roadhog at least. Looking for maybe some shield breaking as Mr. Canada still sticking with the Reinhardt. Slowly making their way towards the play, but Illusion go for the boop! And gets Frost. You can't quite fade back on. But the charge into a tiny spider gets him, but the kill comes in from French guy in the meantime. Switch knocked off point for the time being. Gonna throw out some shields, grab that energy, and they're gonna take this point fairly easily as long as they can grab Darthon, who does fall. Caster Curse, baby. Calling it.
Group up with me.
Switch looking to build up that energy. Ever hungry. An aggressive charge from a tiny spider to get in there. Mr. Canada going in dangerously after getting hooked as well there. So now the big fight, but oh, there goes two! Big rig from the back, grabbing Darthon, who's on Junkrat, and a tiny spider who couldn't quite charge back in. That shifts the tides majorly as the French guy coming in. Get some blood on his blade. He'll just grab one for the time being. Kemchi is probably all they need as they're going to deflect another round of attacks here as Wob barely getting his way out, unless French guy, hello. Gets him in the back. Wob, though, sitting with the Dragon Blade. But on the other side of things, Munition here, they have a huge wealth of ultimates. A lot of high value ones as well. Just, if they use all four of them, not high value, obviously. But let's see how they go with it. This next fight will probably be a huge one, as Dry Limes do not want to get that counter up to 99% for their opposing team. But Grav, Coalescence, a lot of other things, a lot of pretty colors. It looks crazy because it is. And what a wipe on the board here for Munition. Keeping the sound barrier. But they sunk a lot in, as well as Dry Limes. Both teams keeping a sound barrier for each. And this is a do or die time here. They have to get to point. They at least have to touch to contest to keep this game going. Dry Limes could be in fear of getting out here, but sound barrier coming out early. Darthon with the tire looking for a big gets, but doesn't do nothing but damage here. And it looks like the ball just keeps on rolling there. Munition grabbing it on a 2-0 at a, well, I'd say somewhat one-sided fight there on our second map of Ilios, but they're going to advance into round 2 here. Surprising after such a great game on Ruins, as you're seeing. Wob, though, doing a lot of work.
Most enjoyable.
Where can I play quick play with the caster? He's a cool dude. Thanks, man. Well, you can just DM me on Mooncord or something. Find me. Well, we've come to a close on our round 1. Can't spell. Close to round 1. Munition taking the 2-0, but not after a fight from Dry Limes. Moving on up. See who they're going to face. Well, it will either be Frost Wolves, number 2 seed, or Pug Stars, I believe a newcomer team to our dabs. In other news, Wet Lemons, actually our number 1 seed, dropped out of the dab this night, so Decay, our latecomers, actually get a bye, or I guess a walkover technically. Not a bye, as there's a no-show. So actually, Decay get a free win there. So Wet Lemons leaving the throne open to whoever can grab it now. But right now, Munition moving on to face someone. Who knows? We'll find out in a bit. We're going to take a short break as I recuperate my voice a bit here. And we'll see you soon.